you all set a goal plan out for a night and you actually stick to it because you'll see progress. If you've had struggles with seeing progress on eBay throughout your eBay journey, regardless of how far you are along, maybe today's your first day, right? Or maybe today's your 1050th day, right? It doesn't matter. If you have yet to set down a 90-day rule or goal plan that you're going to do, I strongly encourage it, right? Like I've been talking about it now for about a week, but and make it as simple as possible. Okay, I'm going to wake up at, what's up, John? Thanks for joining, brother. I'm going to wake up at X, right? And by X, I'm going to be doing photography. And after I'm done with my photography, I'm going to list X amount of items, right? And continue to do that for 90 days. And it'll transform you and your journey on eBay. And what I want to get in today is it's 2023, okay? Back when I was like if I knew about this platform, right, when I was 18, 17, 18, 19, oh my God, we'd be fucking well off already by now. But here's what's going on in 2023. What's up, Vic? Thanks for joining, brother. It's good to see both you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Man, I'm really going to try to expand my video content. I might even get creative and get like a video editor, so maybe I can make or set up a different room to take my video content in and, jazz it up behind me or whatever and basically just stream a podcast 2 times a day. But what I want to say is it's 2023, right? The old attic version, like maybe me and Vic, I don't know how old John is. I know Victor is, I believe he's younger than me, but I'm sure he'd remember this. And maybe John will too. And any of you guys else that, maybe graduated 20 years ago or 22, which is crazy to even say, right? But the old addict of like, okay, you graduate, you at least got to graduate high school and then you got to go work for somebody until you can retire, right? That old analogy of, we'll say, a programmed mindset is over with. Okay, John's 35. He's close to me. No, you're 6 years younger than me, but still, you get it, right? You've went through that shit, right? So 35 and 32. Like when you guys graduated high school, like there was no, hey, grab your cell phone and start fucking flipping shit. Not that I know of, right? 22 years ago when I graduated high school, you'd have been lucky to have a fucking cell phone, right? I think I had a flip phone or some shit, and I could only afford service once in a blue moon because I was a broke son of a bitch, right? But the truth is we're in 2023, and I think what's trapping up a lot of people, not just resellers, guys, what's trapping up a lot of people is there's an overload of information. Okay, there's an overload. I mean, if you fucking YouTube eBay, you're going to see 1,000 different content creators are talking about eBay, and everybody's talking about pretty much the similar shit, right? But it's coming from a different voice, which is good because, everybody needs somebody else. I remember when Nokia phones were hot. Fuck yeah, me too, dude. Call me after 9. Right. When the phone calls were free. That's some shit. Kids don't know about that anymore, right? But the truth is, there's an overload of information. And not only is there an overload of information, the overload of information, a lot of people, you're hearing very successful people talking about having many streams of income. And this is going to correlate with eBay, so bear with me. The truth is in the beginning, you should not be looking for many streams of income, okay? Because it takes so much energy to take one stream of income and build it up. If you are taking away from that, you're never going to be able to put in enough to what it takes to get the ball rolling, right? To get the shit start rolling, and eventually, the sales and all that shit is going to just buy your inventory and pay for your living habits or whatever else, right? So there's an abundance of information out there, but there's also an abundance of ways to make money, right? Without working for anybody anymore. First of all, you have a marketplace fucking smartphone. It's as smart as computers in your hand. So you can market yourself doing anything from cleaning gutters to fucking sweeping people's houses. It's batshit crazy how much opportunity is out there for us to make income, right? So I'm starting up a new business. That is awesome, Vic. I love hearing that. The reason being is we are not going any closer to the age of, hey, get out of school, go to college and go get a degree and then go work for somebody until the day you die. We are steering fast away from that. Why? I believe because entrepreneurship became cool. Right, and it became cool from people like Gary Vee. For those of you who don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk, and many other very successful entrepreneurs that hit the YouTube platform and TikToks and Facebook and Instagram and all this, right? So it's actually become revolutionized that entrepreneurship is cool. Now, when I was younger, right? When I'm talking younger, I'm talking about like middle school and shit, right? Like that. Yeah, Gary Vee's a wild character, right? And the crazy thing is, he only talks about a few things. He's only got like 10 rules and he sticks with it, and that's what he talks about. But it works for him because of his persona and the way he delivers shit, how charismatic he is, and how much of a nice motherfucking guy he is. He's just a simply nice dude that has. If you listen to Gary Vee do everything he talks about in your business strategies, you can't fail. Like it's impossible to fail, right? And that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to a point where what I'm doing is working for me, so I know it can work for somebody else, right? And up until where I'm at today, I remember I jotted shit down, I wrote shit down, I made video content from listing number one to get us to where we're at today, and I can now help somebody get to six figures. Now, when I was doing $30,000 a year, I couldn't help anybody get to six figures. Why? Because I didn't even know how to get there, right? But now, within my hopes, I'm hoping to be able to, within the next few years, help somebody achieve $1 million in sales. Why? Because that's where I want to go, right? That's the road I want to go. But anyways, besides all that, right? There's so many different ways you can stream income today. It's batshit crazy. But I strongly encourage you in the beginning, like this is so normal for entrepreneurs in the beginning, right? This is so normal for, we'll just not even say entrepreneurs, right? Because in the beginning, you're not even like, you don't even know if you're an entrepreneur or anything, right? Because you don't know if you have what it takes, right? But everybody does. But the truth is, zero in and focus on one fucking side hustle until it becomes a solid stream of income. When I say solid, I'm talking about an entire year of a certain amount of income coming in every month or every quarter or whatever, right? Then if you want to hire a couple people, I can't even talk about hiring because I haven't done it, but that's when I believe you should look to hire somebody once you get the ball rolling good and you know what's going on completely in the business. And then maybe you can hire somebody to do something that is taking up the majority of your time. That way you can start focusing on building another stream of income. But I strongly encourage somebody for the first year or two of when it comes to reselling, do it all yourself. And people don't want to hear that shit. But until you know the system without even having to think about what to do next, you'll never be able to train somebody else to do it. You won't be. Guys, I wanted to hire somebody a year ago, but if I would have really did that, I would have been wasting my money. I would have been giving this person money, telling them, okay, figure it out, because I don't even know what the fuck to do, right? Like, I don't even know how to get to where I want to get to. So even though you do hear this a lot, but the smart entrepreneurs, when they're speaking on YouTube, will say, focus on your first business until it brings in whatever amount of your goal is, a steady stream of income for X amount of time before you start delving off into all kinds of streams. Because you hear this shit all the time on Instagram. You hear it all the time on YouTube is the key to success and becoming filthy rich is many streams of income. Well, that might be right, but one business, in one business alone, you can get pretty fucking comfortable, right? And eBay's one of them. If you do what you got to do on eBay on a daily basis and consistently, and you don't fuck up and you don't miss days and you just get really disciplined. You look at Tekken Sports, for example, guys. I use him a lot, but he's a fucking animal, man. The guy ain't missed a day. You know, it might be longer now. Last time I recorded it, it was over 10 years. The dude ain't missed a day. That's fucking nuts, man. That is the epitome of discipline, right? Do you know how many days in that 10 years? Now, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm going to say if I was in his shoes, right? If I was in Tekken Sports shoes, do you know how many days I would have had that I didn't want to do the shit? But that's where the discipline kicks in and you do it. And by the way, Vic, what business do you plan on venturing off into? I want to hear about that, right? I love hearing new ideas. I love talking to people that think like me. And I like listening to people that think entrepreneur. Like I love hearing that because hey, you never know. You might think of something that I might say, hey, that'd probably be a great fucking idea, right? And I might chase after it too. Rabbits. Hey, you know what's crazy? Our son, he has like 2, 3, maybe 4, not just your typical rabbits. I'm talking like expensive fucking rabbits. If that's what you're talking about. Like expensive rabbits. They're pretty fucking cool, actually. They have their own rooms and everything. Dog food companies buy them. Oh, that's ingenious, dude. That's smart. That's very smart, right? You know what's crazy? Every time me and my fiance go in, we have our dog Bella, and then we have Jingles, our cat, and we have Rex, our cat. Jingles is a female, and Bella is a male. And every time we walk into this pet store that's out here by us, we drop a couple $100. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, right? I mean, we're spending $600 a month on them. Maybe more. I don't know. Maybe more at times, right? And I look at all these brands of dog foods and cat foods, and I'm like, babe, this is what we need to be doing. Like, we need to figure out a recipe that fucking works and get an investor to invest into us and put a fucking fancy label like they all fucking do on these dog foods. You guys, there's some dog foods we buy. We're paying $60 a fucking bag for a 5-pound fucking bag. That is batshit crazy, man. That's a thriving business right now. Here's the reason why. People love their animals. And once their kids are out of the house, or even before their kids are out of the house, they spoil the shit out of their fucking animals. It's a never-ending fucking industry, man. It's a never-ending. We know somebody that does that, and they're helping us get started. That's fucking awesome, dude. It's completely organic and healthy meat. That's great, man. I keep us posted on that, Vic. I want to see where you go. But it is crazy you say that because instead of actually the rabbit part, I didn't even know a lot of the food came from rabbits, but it makes sense, right? Instead of that part, I thought I was thinking a different angle of it. Instead of supplying the companies, I wanted to be one of the companies, right? Like, so you would supply me. I wanted to be one of the companies that actually make dog food, and our other son actually does make his own dog food. He does make his dog's dog food, like all organic, and it's super cool. It's kind of expensive, though. I'm going to start building fences and houses next week. Want to buy some. LOL. Hey, you never know, Vic. I don't know, man. Like, I want to do something different this year, 2023, like, because I do have extra time outside of eBay, right? And I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of outgrowing my area, inventory space, basically, right? So before I go to hire somebody, first of all, I have to get a building. I'm not going to have somebody come into my house and work out of my house. For one, I don't like that. I think it's breaking the privacy of your home. It's not for me. Now, it would be different if we had a 30 by 30 pole barn out back or something like that. Then that'd be cool. But we have to figure out a way, whether I do a storage unit like Daily Refinement did it and a lot of other people do it, or a couple of them shipping containers, put them out back or whatever and have somebody, or rent out a barn, right? I got to do something, though. Look up dog food starter. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, Vic, I'm going to do that. Because I seriously have been thinking about, you know what's crazy? This is going to sound nuts, and this pertains nobody in the castle. Right, yeah, I don't like that, bro. John, I'm with you. Look, it's not that I don't trust people. It's not even about that. I just don't want to come downstairs to get something out of the refrigerator and somebody's in my house, even if I do know them. Like, I don't want that I don't want that in my castle, man. I'm looking at building for myself my resale right now. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you. Actually, you know what's crazy? I can't put out too much business because it's kind of personal. Not for me, but for some women I know. That I actually thought before I started reselling, I started up an idea on a pad of paper. You all have women in here, and women have menstrual cycles, okay? And I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of this. I have heard it more than one time where they have difficulty getting their tampons where they need to be, right? And I thought, why hasn't any one of them added like a lubrication pack to the tip of the tampon, right? That is, hyperallergenic, where it's not going to give any woman any type of infection. And it sounds crazy, right? Because I'm a guy, but I've heard these complaints more than once in my life, right? That's a problem. A good business, a person that starts a good business resolves a problem, right? There's a problem, or there is a high demand for it, and somebody fills that void and they become successful. So I'm sure I'm not going to put it out there who I've heard that from, right? Because that's their business. But the amount of people I have heard that from, that is an issue, right? I don't know. I don't got to do that, thank God, right? And you guys don't either, right? But maybe some of you girls in this group can relate with that. But I think if I had the capital, that's where I would have went from the beginning. That's because I really think if you ran that by Kotex or one of them companies with the right patent, like, I think you'd blow it out of the fucking water. If you can solve a problem, you can be a millionaire. I always heard that. Yep, that is very true. It don't matter what problem. My gutters are clogged. You could be a millionaire. I need a house built. You could be a millionaire. My toilet paper don't work right. You could be a millionaire, right? That is the whole thing. Here, you're actually doing that on eBay. You are solving a problem for people. Maybe some people can't get out and find whatever item you're finding. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I wrote that down 6 years ago, and I started doing a lot of research on it. One of the issues I came up with is what type of lubrication you would use that certain women wouldn't be allergic. You know what I mean? There's potential for lawsuits if something goes bad in that area, right? I mean, there's always a potential for a lawsuit. So I don't know. I just popped up a video on YouTube one day, and it was talking about reselling, and I went that route. I'm not saying I'll never get into that, but I am very shocked. If you guys ever see that in a store right now, it wasn't my idea, but I cannot believe none of them huge multi-billion-dollar companies. Because look that is a market where it's needed regardless. A woman is always going to have their menstrual cycle. This isn't something like maybe a 16-year-old girl is going to have it. No, it's going to happen, right? Like, it is a guaranteed going to happen. So what I can't believe none of them companies thought of that yet. Or maybe they have, and there's too many risks behind the type of lubrication they would put in the tip of the tampon, or however you would do it, right? It could be a separate little packet that's inside. I don't know. There's many different ways. Me and my fiance were actually discussing it and going over it. There's many kind of ways that you can make it happen, but I just can't believe you don't see that on the shelves, man. I can't believe it. Because look, there are some women, and I'm not being funny or whatever, they just have a difficult time inserting them. Just like funeral homes. It's dark, I know, but it's always... You know what, Vic, it's crazy you say that, because I worked in cemeteries for 5.5... Actually, right before... during when I was creating this, right? And I did that, and funeral homes, yes, it's dark, but it don't matter, man. Somebody's got to do it, right? I look at it like that. You got to look at it, when you get into something like that, you got to look at it kind of like you're doing a justice. Like, when we were cutting grass in the beginning, I used to feel like I was disturbing the visitors that would come and visit in the funeral home. My boss is like, Justin, you were cleaning their front yard. You're cleaning that burial's front yard, and you're making it look good. You are doing a service to those people. Stop thinking you're doing something wrong. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm running over a grave. You know what I mean? I'm like, when I was growing up, I'm like, don't even step on a grave, right? I heard that, right? And I believe that. So, but the truth is, you are actually taking care of that person, just as you would in a funeral home. Yes, it's dark and it's gloomy, but somebody needs you at that moment, right? You are providing a service to, even though the people are vulnerable, right? And I do believe some of the headstones and shit like that, the cost of them, they're outrageous, right? But it's not. But use a pop-up cap on the tip of the tampon that is pre-lubricated with wood have the plastic applicator. Absolutely, John. I totally, dude, I really think if somebody in this group took off that idea and ran with it and had a capital or a venture capitalist, you'd be the next fucking Kotex, bro. You'd put everything out, man. And all the other companies would buy into your idea. They'd all buy into your idea, especially if you patent it right where nobody else could do it but you. They would all give you a percentage just to use that extra little fucking thing. It's like, you don't got to reinvent the steering wheel. You don't have to. Just make it better, right? Look what they've done with lighting. They went from the fluorescent type lighting and the nasty yellow bulb lighting to LEDs. The person didn't reinvent the fucking light. They turned it to LEDs and they're billionaires. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, and even when it comes to reselling, I believe Tekken Sports invented a measuring tape for clothes resellers, okay? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive he did. And, you know, it helps measure. And he sells the shit out of them on Facebook, right? Or, I mean, on eBay. He sells the shit out of them. I'm surprised I haven't bought one yet, but I got a big measuring board. My whole board is a measuring board. So, yeah, you don't got to reinvent the steering wheel, man. It's just making something better, finding a way to make a lint roller better, finding a way to make a fucking coffee mug better. You know, I mean, the cup has been made for how long, right? And they sell billions of different kinds of brands of coffee cups on a daily basis. It's ridiculous. I live in a lake town, and I just recently got a third printer. I'm going to start making lures, custom hand printed. Dude, lures are big money. And if you get good at making good lures, they're big money. You ever walk into well, obviously you fish, right? I grew up fishing, and, you know, for a long time I didn't fish. Me and my fiance wanted to go fishing. I'm like, all right, I'll take us in. We'll go in. There's a place just north of us here. And I said, we'll go get a couple fishing poles, and we'll buy a tackle box, and we'll buy a bunch of lures, right? Well, that bunch of lures turned out, after we bought the fishing poles and the tackle boxes and the fishing licenses, right? That bunch of lures turned out to be just a few, because they were expensive as shit, right? Good lures like Rapellos and all that shit. That shit cost money. Handmade, Vic, I love your mindset, man. You're going after it, dude. You know what? I don't want to discourage you. Maybe eBay, Vic, that happened for you on eBay to shift you in another direction. And I'm not trying to tell you not to do eBay, all right? I'm not trying to tell you to not resell. But maybe eBay was enough to get your feet wet, to believe in yourself that something can happen from your production. And now you're going on to fishing lures and rabbits that's going to be dog food. And the next thing you know, Vic, you're making the videos, right? You're the next guy. I'm going to put signs up at the public docks to advertise. Worms are easy to keep, too. Start a worm farm, too. It's like $5 a dozen. See what I'm saying, man? There's a lot of good ideas in this. You know what? This is probably, you know what? And all the video content I've created up until this point, and I've been making video content for 5 years now, it's not all been about reselling. All right, I did a lot of motivational stuff, too, and encouraged people to, if they don't like their lifestyle, to steps and shit like that and how to change it. I did that actually for about a year and a half or so. But eBay, this is my favorite one because I'm getting a lot of feedback, and that's what I love. You know, we can feed each other and help each other. Listen to these good ideas. All these good ideas John's talking about, Vic's talking about, I'm talking about. All these ideas. Listen, a business don't start when your store opens. This is where a business starts. Right fucking here. Right in the comments. It's an idea. It's an idea. You then grab a paper and start implementing how you're going to actually execute on this idea. You're taking an idea, you're writing it down. That is the first step of a business. A business is not your signs open. A lot of people think that, right? Oh, the grand opening, that's the business. No, it's not. It starts 6 months to a year before that, man. Corey, what's up, brother? Landlord made me throw it away. What? Yeah, I had an old deep freezer just for the purpose. $5 a cup. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, listen, you hear this. The whole point I'm trying to get at is all these ideas will work. If what? What do I talk about the most in this video content? If you believe in yourself. If you believe you're going to be able to get enough rabbits and you're going to find enough companies that'll buy them from them, dude, you're there. Hey, we talking worm farms? Yeah, Corey. Actually, we're talking about worm farms. We're talking about rabbits. We're talking about tampons. It's getting deep in this conversation, right? You're probably like, you have to go back up in the comments or go back in the video about the tampons one, because that might have threw you off. No, we were discussing different business ideas we have all had. right? And I think it's really good. Yeah, big money moves, right? Real big money moves. And but here's what I don't want to lose track of. This is eBay, right? Because it is. But this is why I think eBay is such a good platform, again, guys, to get started on. Because one, you start getting your hands used to how money flows and how money works, right? You take this $20 and you go buy 4 fucking items at the thrift store and you turn that 4 items into 8 items, and then you take those 8 items and turn them into 30, and you take them 30 and turn them into 120, and you start seeing how money comes in and money goes out, and what you need to put to the side for taxes and what you need to reinvest in, what you can live on. You get that system down, and every business works that way. Right now, the money might be bigger or it might be smaller or it might not come as fast in a certain business, but you get the gist of how a business works, right? I'm all in on eBay for now. Yeah, me too. I'm still all in. I'm definitely still all in on eBay, but you best believe my mind don't shut off, guys. Just like Vic's talking about, I got this idea. Dude, I wish my fiance was camera friendly, right? I'd bring her on and be like, all right, babe, how many ideas have I shot at you in this past week? She'd be like, I don't know. I just roll my eyes anymore. I'm tired of hearing them, right? She probably would say that because I'm always going by something, driving by something, seeing something in a store. My mind is always figuring out the next money move. My mind is always figuring out, okay, what's gonna top what I'm doing now? What does this person need? What does that person? And I believe that's an entrepreneur mindset. I could be wrong, right? I loved eBay. Kind of felt like they did me dirty, but it is what it... Vic, I believe they did do you dirty, dude. Something got mixed up there. Somebody hacked your shit, your account, and they're trying to drain you $9.51 at a time. But there's no way you should have been charged that many times for... They can't even tell you the cause of it. And they've done it numerous times, dude. That to me... This is why I said, don't look at the bad part of it. Look at it as an opportunity to start something else. That's the way I look at shit, man. If eBay went under my feet today and they told me I could not resell tomorrow, I would probably be down in the dumps for a few hours, but I'd pick myself up and say, it's just a lesson, man. Go on to the next. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, something got fucked over for you, dude. And it's shitty, man. It's shitty. But there are other sale platforms out there, as you are aware of. There's plenty of other sale platforms out there. But I strongly believe, guys, from the start of this video, I was talking about there's an overabundance of information. My strong opinion is pick one, and if it's eBay, stick with this shit for the next couple of years, man. Just go all in. Just go all in on the shit, and on the days you want to and on the days you don't want to. Just fucking grind at it, right? You are learning so much more than you think you are learning through this process of eBay. You're not just learning eBay, you're learning how business actually works. You're learning how money is actually, the constant flow of money is what make money grow. We were lied to all our life. Put your money in the bank, have a safe. Like, I'm not telling you not to have a safe fund, right? But put your money in the bank, that's what smart people do. They told you that so they could take their money, your money, and borrow it out to 7 other people and multiply it by 7. That's why the banks, that's why the fucking TV shows told you, that's why the financial institutions told you that shit. That is bullshit. If your money isn't moving, you are actually losing money. That's what, it's teaching you a lot more. Do you see what I'm saying? It's teaching you a lot more than, hey, just flip an item. It's teaching you that constantly moving your money is expanding it. Your money's sitting. If you put $100 in a safe box right now and don't touch it for 20 years, that fucker ain't going to be worth but fucking $50, maybe $60. I don't even know. The $100 bill isn't worth $100. Okay, it's depreciating every day. Why? Because they're printing trillions of dollars a fucking day. They're printing so much money a day, it's stupid. So our face dollar is losing value. And if it's sitting in a safe box or in a bank, it's depreciating because the interest the bank is giving you is fucking less than the depreciation value of the fucking dollar. Do you get what I'm saying? You're losing money if your money's just sitting in a bank. If it's not moving, you're not making money. You're not making money on them. I don't care what the bank's telling you. You're going to get X amount of it. It's not a big enough percentage of by the inflation in the dollar amount that's depreciating. So you're fucking losing money. But eBay will teach you, as long as you keep moving your money, it keeps going up, right? It keeps going up. You don't see a person fucking flip one house and then never flip another house. They keep flipping houses, and it's the same thing. We're doing the same thing on a smaller scale. That's all we're doing. I figured at this point, the account has so many dings, it'd be nearly impossible to get us started again. I did actually, they couldn't figure it out. Either they wanted me to pay them again. Jesus Christ. I had to close to 600 listings. Yeah, how do I respond to that? I think Vic is a great person. I know he is, and he gave it hell, right? I had about the exact same amount of items I had in my inventory when I had to start from scratch. And I'll tell you, it wasn't an easy process. Sorry. Heartburn. Fucking fish oils, man. But it wasn't an easy process for me. Would I do it all again if it went back down? I can't answer that right now. I don't know if I'd do it all over again. I could. I got plenty of inventory. I got over 5,000 items down here in inventory. So it's not like I'd have to go out and buy a bunch of new shit, right? I'd just start fucking relisting items again. But it took me 2 months to decide what I was going to do, right? It took me 2 months because I'm like, man, I'm trying my hardest to build it back up to top rated, and it's not happening. I figured the amount of work I'm putting in, if I just start a new store and keep putting that same amount of work in for 6 months, I'll be at a better level, and that's what I did, and thank God it worked out for me, right? But I'm not where I want to be. Like if it all went under, I would really have to think hard whether I would put all my eggs in the decluttering business or if I would restart eBay. I'm already set up to start listing again. Pulled my entire listing inventory, put it all back in the death pile. That's up to you, Vic. Look, with it sitting in the death pile, it's not bringing you income. It's not bringing you any income, right? You started today. In 90 days, you could be in a good place, right? You think about it this way. You got 600 items to list, right? If you got 600 items in your inventory you pulled, you ain't got to buy items for 600 items. You can list 10 items a day for the next 60 days. Right? For the next 2 months, you ain't got to buy no inventory. Anything that sells, put to the side, and then when you do need inventory, go spend all that in new inventory. Right? You could do that again. It's possible. Right? That's it. Look, I had like 570 some, maybe Vic, 580 some. It wasn't quite 6, but I had pretty close to what you had in inventory. Just I had everything, right? I didn't have just clothes like I do now. Now, I got 5,000 items of inventory. If it all went out under my feet, I would really have to ponder on it right now. Because if I started listing again today, the money would start coming in again, right? It wouldn't happen right away, but it'd start coming in again faster than I think it would if I put all my eggs in the decluttering business. I think it would come faster. You can build eBay fast, man. Especially if you got the inventory and you got the know-how on what to do, you can fucking build eBay real fast. What takes people so long is when you start with item 1 and you got to wait for that to sell, and then you got to go hope to God be able to buy 2 more and list them and wait for them 2 to sell and take that money and go buy 4. That's what takes people a long time, is the beginning process, right? If you have the inventory and you know what to do, you're fucking 50 points ahead of the game, man. Actually, you're 90 points ahead of the game. I got plenty of inventory. I could list 15 a day for the next year and not run. Oh my God. Well, on that note, Vic, let me ask you this. How long does it take you to list 15 items of whatever you're listing? I think you do a lot of cards, right? If it takes you an hour a day to do 15 items, man, start doing 15 items. Fuck it. Start from scratch, bro. It might be the best thing you ever did. Right? That doesn't mean don't go with your other ideas with the fishing lures and that other shit, right? Look, you ain't got to fucking put all your eggs into just eBay. If you want to try it out, listen, if something's telling you to do it, do it. I tell you that. Not bragging by no means. eBay pissed me off with all that lost work. No, Vic, I totally get you, bro. That's not a brag, man. You're just speaking the truth. Look, sometimes it might sound like I'm bragging up here, but I'm not. I'm not even close to where I want to be, right? But I know from my past life experiences is as little as I got and I was capable to get to where we are today. Anybody can fucking do this shit, man. Cars, I can do 100 a day. Hard goods, depending on the research, 10 to 15 minutes. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. Hey, guys, I got to wrap this video up. Let's have another video like this. I really enjoyed this, man. I loved all the feedback. I loved all the ideas. I like that, man. I like hearing ideas. I might generate a podcast where it's really based around different business ideas and strategies. Why? Because that really turns me on, and I really like that. I really like to learn about other people's ideas, right? Like, why do you think Sony PlayStation didn't patent the Sony PlayStation? So other people could create ideas and invest into the business. Why? Because, look, one mind's great, right? But fucking 50 minds is stellar. You hear what I'm saying? Because I might have tell Vic about, look, I said something about a tampon and it being hard for some women to get them in. And Luke jumped in and said, hey, man, put it right on top of the cap. And then fucking, so did Vic. And I'm like, well, look, there it is. It solves, right? 2 heads is better than 1. I can have 600 cards listed by next weekend if I wanted to. Fuck, well, you better get to work, bro. But most are not big money cards. Right. I get that. Just set tight. Right. You know what? If you had the time to do it, Vic, I'd do it, man. I'd do it. But it's up to you. It's totally up to you. I can't right now. I can't say I don't know what you're going through because I went through not the exact same thing, but I had to start a new store. So I mean, I was where you were at one time, for sure. I was where you were at, dude. And it sucks because I put a whole entire fucking year onto eBay. Well, 11 months and some fucking change of dedicated fucking work. And then it was like, I can't dig out of fucking below seller's level. So I just started new. All right, you guys have a great day. It's your boy Flippin' Stu.